Hi there, this is Kellyanne with Church Windows. We're going to go ahead and get started. The office phone and my cell phone both say 1 p.m. I think our time here in the lower right is a little off on this computer, so I'm going to go with the cell phone, which I think has the correct time. So we're going to go ahead and get started today and look at special donation gifts. Let me go ahead and get rid of the presentation that was going here. If it's your first time using the GoToWebinar toolbar, hopefully you were watching that little presentation. It had some pointers for you. On the GoToWebinar toolbar, there's a little orangish, reddish arrow on the side. If you click on that, it will minimize it down so it's not blocking what I'm showing you. And then if you need to open it back up, just click that arrow again. I'm not going to be unmuting folks. Instead, Rachel is in the room today with me, and there's a question panel on your GoToWebinar toolbar. And if you open that up, you can type your questions in there. You might want to hold off until the end because I might answer your question as I work through the material. But Rachel will answer as I'm working through the material, and then at the end, I'll go ahead and just read questions out loud and answer them out loud for everyone. Another thing, the material I'm using today, you don't need a book or anything for this, but if you're interested in where the material is coming from, I'm using some of our workbook pages. If we go under beginning and we go to training workbooks, we go down to donations. Here in donations 102, I am looking at page 19, which starts our section here on special donations, in-kind, and gifts of stock. So that's what we're going to look at today. Wanted to also real quick show you on our website, we do have a lot of resources. There are documents on both of these topics that you can print out if you don't own the workbooks and you don't want to purchase them. I'm not using the actual documents today. I'm using the pages from the workbook. But let me show you real quick. If I look up in-kind, I think I need the dash there. I think I tried it earlier and without the dash, it wouldn't find it. Here we have a great document on in-kind gifts. You can click here and print this out. And I'll show you this again at the very end of the webinar if anybody came in late. So there's a great document. Again, I am using workbook pages. I'm not going off this document, but our workbook pages. But if, if you wanted something free that's on our website, this is available. And then if we look up stock, excuse me, we see there's donations and accounting, posting a gift of stock. So click on that. Here we go. We have a document and we have a recorded webinar as well. So there are some free documents on the website that you can print out that deal with both of these topics. But again, I am using the workbook pages 19 through 22 and D102. So let's go ahead and I'm going to open up donations. And let's take a look at page 19 if you're following along in the book. Again, you don't have to have the book to understand what I'm going to show you. We're going to look at first in-kind gifts. Sometimes people give you an object or a tangible item, maybe copier paper or something for the kitchen. Here it says a furnace. It's not actual cash, so you're not going to put a dollar amount in for the gift. I'm going to show you how you enter that. The church is not responsible for assigning a value to that gift. That is the donor's responsibility. And we're going to look at two different situations. The first one is Mrs. Bond bought a case of paper for the copier. So she just bought the paper, gave us that case of paper. She didn't reimburse or anything like that. She gave us a case of paper. So that is a non-cash gift. We want to make sure first we have, let's go to enter donations, a giving account for that non-cash gift. I'm going to go ahead and put in last Sunday's date. It's good to have, if you have used batch codes, you could have a separate batch code for non-cash giving if you want to report on that separately, and we do here, so we're going to put a batch code in. That's optional if you use batch codes. Pick a person. Dollar amount, we're going to leave at 0 because they did not give us money. They gave us a non-cash gift. They gave us an in-kind gift. Under payment method, if we click the down arrow here, we'll see there is in-kind. So we can put in-kind for payment method. We don't need a check or reference number for that unless you have some system where you want to put one in. Donation comments, I would recommend putting, a description of what that is. So here we could say 1 case of copier paper. Oh, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the page if you're following along in the book. Now down under account pledge, that's where I'm going to look for my non-cash giving account. If you don't have one, then you can set one up. We have one 999 called non-cash giving. So I'll choose that. Here I'm going to still leave the dollar amount at 0. And then I can put one case of copier paper. Just cut and paste that. Now again, it's very important that you put that $0 amount. Might have a cash value that you could enter, but this is 0 because they didn't give you cash or a check or actual money. They gave you a thing. So I'm accounting for that. If they have a receipt for that and it's a new item, you could put that in the comments. So we're going to go ahead and enter that. I'll do what the book says, $95.39. Guess I've never bought a ream of paper. I had no idea it was so expensive. So just copy that and we'll put that along the line item comments as well. Now if you have questions about any of this, definitely talk to your tax advisor. See, oh, somebody said they couldn't see, but now they're seeing it. Good. Okay, something must have been going on at their end. If it's a used item, though, that they give you, then you're not going to put a dollar amount there. That is the actual donor. That's between the donor and the IRS to assign the value of that gift. The only time you really need to put a dollar amount in the comments, not in the amount, would be if they actually give you a receipt for a new item, so you actually know the value of that new item. Once you've entered all that, then you can click Done, Add to Batch. And if you have more in-kind donations, you can go ahead and enter those. And once you're done, then you'd hit Post or Post and Transfer if you wanted. I mean, there's nothing going to accounting. It's a $0 amount. So really all you need to do is hit Post. Now our second example is, if you're following along in your book, page 21, Mr. Kerr paid for a copier for the parsonage. In recording this gift, we want to consider 3 things. We want to know the cost of running the church and all the things having to do with the church. A copier is one of those things. So the best way to do that is for us to enter a bill and pay a bill for that copier, and that way you've purchased the copier. Now if the donor purchases it, he's going to pay the sales tax, or if the church purchases it, the tax is waived. Now if he reimburses you for the purchase of that, then you can, excuse me, then that would not be in kind. That would be an actual donation, and you could put in the comments that that money is to offset the cost of the copier. But if he doesn't actually purchase that, but he's reimbursing you, then that would not be in kind. He actually did give you money. And if you'd like, you can even have that money flow right over towards the expense account if you want to reduce your expenses, or you could have it flow over to an income if you want to, total your income versus expenses and just know that that income came in to recoup the cost of that copier. So different ways you could do that. If you have questions, definitely give us a call if you have something more detailed. If you have a specific thing about an in-kind gift, we are not tax advisors or the IRS or tax consultants. So it's always best if it's more a tax question or tax advice that you check with a tax advisor or the IRS. Let's go ahead and look at the next topic, gifts of stock. Let me go ahead and I'll post that. Now the line item comments, I forgot to mention, those will show on a giving statement. If you include the comments in the detail section, then you will see those in the giving statement detail section. I'm not going to print that. So let's go ahead and enter gift of stock. Sometimes people will donate stock to the church. Pretty easy to enter that. You do want to have a giving account for your stock, maybe call it stock gifts. You want that then linked to an asset account and an income account that are appropriate in accounting. Let me go up here and we'll look at special functions and link to accounting. Maybe, here we go. Click over here to alphabetize it and, oh, nope, it's doing it by number. Let's see. And here we go, right up near the top, I have my stock gift. Second from the top, if we look, we can see the debit account or my asset. It's going to my Lynch Schwab investment asset. And then I have set up an income account in accounting for my Lynch Schwab investment income. So today we're just talking about the donation side of things. the document, I'll show that to you again at the end, the document on stock gifts on our website. I believe it covers both the donation side and the accounting side if you have questions about the accounting side. But today we're really just talking about the donation side. So in donations, once we have our giving account for stock and we've linked that to our asset and our income account that we've created for our stock, then we can go ahead and enter those. So we'll close this and go back to enter donations. We recommend for the date using a date that's for this gift only. So we'll go ahead and put it on April 1st, April Fool's Day. The amount, you're going to enter the amount, the value of the stock on the day it was given to you. So maybe you don't enter it till a week later and it's changed value. You need to enter the value the day it was given. So we'll go ahead and pick a giver. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the amount was, we'll say $1,000. And then under payment method, we do have a payment method of stock. So we go ahead and choose stock. And then in comments, we can go ahead and maybe put a comment that they gave so many shares of such and such a stock. So I have no idea how much 5 shares of stock would cost, so maybe $1,000 is way off. I obviously don't buy stock, but we'll say 5 shares of stock. And then we can copy that and paste it over into our line item comments if we'd like. Now over here, I was set according to pledge, so notice it did go ahead and fill in the giving account. I'm going to change that. Click the down arrow here and find, I could start typing it, but I'm doing it the hard way and scrolling, find my stock giving account. I have everything in I need. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add it to the batch. And for this, I do want to hit post and transfer. If you own accounting and you want it to go over to accounting, which I assume you would if you own accounting, we'll go ahead and hit post and transfer. It is warning us that this isn't a Sunday date, and we know that because we chose a different date than our regular Sunday. So we'll say yes and post it. And that is it. Now we've posted our stock to donations, but we have one more thing to do here. Brings up the screen showing what we've entered and what needs to be transferred to accounting. We have some other dates sitting there, but if we look here, our last item for 4/1, that's the $1,000 we just posted for stock. So the comments you enter in donations do not carry over to accounting. So if we wanted to have comments carry over when we transfer it, we can add those on this last screen. Whoops, 5 shares. I'll put my S there. And now if I want it to also be on the asset and the income, I can just cut and paste those and pop those in there and then hit post. And now it's posted that transfer to accounting as well. So my stock is entered and will show on the person's giving statement with the value that it had the day it was given, and it's also posted and transferred over to accounting. Again, now today we're just looking at the donation side of that, and I'm at the end of what I wanted to show you today.